So let us continue, but before we continue, we will be reviewing first the standard form of equations and general features of a parabola. We have here the standard form, the vertex, the axis of symmetry, the directrix, and the focus. So we have here options x squared is equal to 4cy if your parabola opens upward or downward and the vertex must be at the origin or 0, 0. And you can also have this one option, y squared is equal to 4cx if your parabola opens to the left and or to the right, but the vertex must be at the origin also. If this formula will be used, then you have to follow this formula of the axis of symmetry, the directrix, and the focus. On the other hand, if the vertex of your parabola is not at the origin or any point on the Cartesian plane or at hk, then you will be using this formula. So as we can see, if x minus h ang naka-squared, it's either your parabola opens upward or downward. But if y minus k ang naka-squared, your parabola may be open to the right or to the left. And if that happens, you have to follow this axis of symmetry, x equals h, y is equal to k, etc., etc. Then also, we have here the latus rectum, 4 times the absolute value of the focus or the length of the focus. So let us start. Let's say our first example, let's say we have number 1, x squared is equal to 12y. Let's say this is our first example and we are to find the vertex, the focus, the axis of symmetry, the directrix, and the latus rectum. What are we going to do? Of course, you identify kung saan yung naka-squared. Ang naka-squared dito ay x. At based sa formula natin, kapag ang naka-squared ay x, then the vertex must be at the origin and your parabola opens upward or downward. Take note of that. So our vertex is at 0, 0. This will be our answer for the vertex for number 1. And for the focus, or for the axis of symmetry, we have here y-axis. You just copy that. Y-axis, or in general mathematics, if we say at y-axis, it can also be at x is equal to 0. It's either y-axis or x is equal to 0. Next, we also have here the directrix. The directrix is or has an equation of y is equal to negative c. The thing you just need here is the value of c, but how are you going to do that? Alright, let us review. X squared is equal to 12y is the form or came from the form x squared is equal to 4cy. So as you can see, x squared and x squared, we have x squared and x squared. Let us cancel them. And we have y and y, cancel. I am just explaining here which term we will get for us to get the value of negative, the value of c here. And we have here 12, the remaining is 12 and 4c. What we are going to do with those two is to equate them. We have 4c is equal to 12 to get for the value of letter c. Divide both sides by 4, we'll get c is equal to 3. Now, it's your time to put it in here. We have here y is equal to negative, what is the value of c? It's 3. Wala akong barya. Kompleto na ito? Sige. Si tsaka ako. Sige, bebe. y is equal to negative 3. Okay, so we have here the focus. The focus has an equation of 0, c. Now, we already knew that c is equal to 3. Then we can just put in here. Very easy, right? Just kidding. It's 0, 3. We got it now? 0, 3. And for the last one, we have the latus rectum. According to the formula, the latus rectum is 4 times the absolute value of letter C. That would be 4 times the absolute value of letter C, which is 3. That would be for the quantity of 3, 12 units. You know what? This 12 units is the whole length or the full length of the latus rectum from an endpoint of the parabola passing through the focus to another endpoint of the parabola, that is 12 units according to the value that we get. But if we want to get the half value from focus to an endpoint, then you just divide 12 units by 2 and you will get the half length. So that would be, let's put in here, if you want to get the half length of the latus rectum, we'll get 6 units. Why 6 units? Because you just divide 12 into 2. That is from focus to an endpoint. And from focus to an endpoint, both are, if you're going to add them together, 12 units. But if you're just going to get the half, it's 6 units. So we are done now with number 1. X squared is equal to 12y. Vertex, axis of symmetry, the directrix, the focus, and the latus rectum. For the next example, same, we are going to get the same, but let's try. Let's say we have number 2, y squared is equal to negative 8x. Okay, let's say y squared is equal to negative 8x. Let us review again. X squared, hindi siya. Y squared dapat. So ito po siya. Y squared is equal to 4cx. Then we will have to follow the formula here. So we have the vertex is at, of course, the origin, which has 0, 0. Next here, we have the axis of symmetry, of course. Our axis of symmetry has an equation, x-axis. In our example number 1, we have y-axis there, and its x is equal to 0. But for example number 2, we have x-axis, or the equation is y is equal to 0. Okay, for the directrix, we have, x is equal to, we have here, x is equal to negative c. Now, we have to put, so we have here the directrix, x is equal to negative c. This equation is x equal to negative c, different from the example number 1. But what we have to do is to get again the value of c. Where we are going to go back to the original given standard form. That is, y squared is equal to negative 8x, and it is to be compared with this one. Y squared is equal to 4cx. That would be y squared is equal to 4cx. Now, we have y squared, x, and x. We only have to do is negative 8 and 4c. Yeah, just equate them. 4c is equal to negative 8. That would be, divide both sides by 4, cancel, c is equal to negative 2. But it's not yet the final answer. We just get the value of c. What we have to do now is to put it in this formula. X is equal to negative c. So that's it. That is, x is equal to negative, put negative 2, because that is the value of c. And we get x is equal to 2. Alright, so we have now vertex, axis of symmetry, directrix. Next here is the focus. What about the focus? What are we going to do with the focus? Okay, so we have here C0. The focus is at C0. Then we already knew that the focus is -2, then that would be -2 and 0. Very easy. The focus is quite easy. Of course, the final one is at latus or the latus rectum. Latus rectum is 4 times the absolute value of focus. For absolute value of the focus will have for -2, it's 4 times 2, then we will get 8 units. Okay, we got it now. So we are done now with example number 2. For example number 3, let's continue later. Alright, to continue this, let us review again the standard form of equations and general features of the parabola. We have the formula as x squared is equal to 4cy, where the parabola must open or should open upward or downward, and y squared is equal to 4cx if the parabola opens to the left and to the right. And also we have x minus h squared is equal to 4c, the quantity of y minus k, if the parabola opens upward and downward, but the vertex is at hk. And also we have y minus k squared is equal to 4c x minus h if the parabola opens to the left and to the right, but our vertex is at hk. And here are the corresponding formulas for the vertex, the axis of symmetry, the directrix, and the focus. And also we have here the latus rectum, which is 4 times the absolute value of the focus length. Alright, let's continue with example number 3. We have here, I made it more complex so that the examples level will get intense. Okay, so number 3, y plus 4 squared is equal to 3/4 x minus 5. So you just take a look which form should this be. We have fourth form, which is y minus k squared is equal to 4c, the quantity of x minus h. And here are the following formulas for the vertex, axis symmetry, directrix, and the focus. First thing here is we have to identify of course, the vertex. What is our vertex here? We all know that vertex is at hk. And hk is, sabi ko sa inyo noon, kapag negative 5 dito, ang x at h always magkasama while ang y at k always magkasama, no? Sabi ko sa inyo, kung negative 5 dito sa standard form, ipupunta mo dito sa vertex magiging positive 5. Dito naman magiging negative 4. And we have now our h and our k, 5 and negative 4. So we got it. Now, let's proceed with the axis of symmetry. Alright, axis of symmetry has the formula y is equal to k. So that is y is equal to k. So where are you going to get the value of k? From the vertex, you already knew that it's negative 4. So just write it down or substitute it here. That is y is equal to negative 4. So that's now the equation of the axis of symmetry. This is our 5, 4, h and k. Alright, for the next one, we have to find the directrix. Alright, so this part is getting more complex. Directrix has the equation x is equal to h minus c. Now, take a look with the given. It's y plus 4 squared is equal to 3/4 the quantity of x minus 5. And here in the equation of the directrix, it is x is equal to h minus c. We already knew the value of h, which is 5, but we don't know the value of c. So we have to get it in here. 3/4 the quantity of x minus 5. You know what? This 3/4 is represented by 4c. So we have to equate 4c is equal to 3/4. Now, just what we are doing usually, you divide both sides by 4. Divide both sides by 4 to cancel this, and we will get c is equal to, alright. So this part now is quite complex because this is now a fraction divided by the whole number, or a complex fraction. What are we going to do is to make it simple. How are we going to do it? It's just like division of fraction. In division of fraction, let us just review. In the division of fraction, if we divide the numerator by the denominator, we will proceed by dividing or multiplying the reciprocal of the denominator, and that would be the answer. So that would be, or review, if A over B over C over D, kung ganito yung form natin, that would be equal to A over B times D over C. As you can see, this C over D, this is its reciprocal, D over C. And if it's multiplication, we just do direct multiplication here. That would be A times D, A, D, and B times C, B, C. So that's how are we going to do 3/4 over 4. As you will know that 4 is a whole number, it has a denominator 4, denominator 1. Now, let's do this in that way. 3/4 multiply by 1 over 4. Where did we get 1 over 4? The reciprocal of 4 is 1/4. Then here, we just do direct multiplication. That would be 3 times 1 is equal to 3. And 4 times 4 is 16. Now, you take a look if there is a lowest term. So, there is none. So, 3 over 16 is our letter C. And we should put that one in this letter C here. Okay, let's solve the directrix. Let's continue here. The directrix is equal to x is equal to h minus c. And our h value is positive 5 and our c value is 3 over 16. Now, let's just do this way. 5 less 3 over 16. You just subtract a whole number and a fraction, by the way. How are we going to do that? That would be, get the LCD, of course. Get the LCD, or the least common denominator. The least common denominator is 16. Now, this 16 will fly to 5. We all know that the denominator of 5 is 1. That would be 16 divided by 1, and the quotient will be multiplied by 5. Alright, let's go. 16 divided by 1 is 16. 16 times 5 is what? That would be 16 times 5. Then, next, that is times, that's times, or 16 times 5. Then 16 divided by 16 is 1 times negative 3, it's negative 3. Alright, let's simplify. 16 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Then we'll get 80 minus 3 over 16. The final answer would be 77 over 16. So that's it. Our directrix now is 77 over 16. You can use calculator to check if we are correct or not. Okay, so we have now our equation of the directrix, which is 77 or 6 over 16. You can get the approximate value of that using your calculator. You just round off to 2 decimal places. All right, let's proceed with the focus now. Our focus has an equation of h plus c k. All right, h plus c k, and we all know that our letter c is 3 over 16. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, our h is 5 plus 3 over 16, which is c. Then our k is negative 4. I got it. Again, you'll do addition of fraction and whole number here. Then LCD first, 16, then 80 plus 3 minus 4, then 80 plus 3 is 83 over 16 negative 4. Alright, I will encourage everyone, every student of STEM to use fraction in writing your final answer because this is exact. But if you are going to use decimal point, as much as possible, you have to put the fraction first before the decimal point so that I could see if you got the fraction correctly. Okay, for the last one, we have the latus rectum. And we all know that the latus rectum is 4 times the absolute value of C. Then we'll get for the quantity of 3 over 16, which is 12 over 16, and this 12 over 16 is 3/4. Alright, this is the full length of the latus rectum. So if you want to get the half length, then you just divide 3/4 by 2. This is the full or whole length. Alright, if you want to get the half length, then you just divide it by 2. That would be 3/4 divided by 2 equals 3/4 times 1/2 3 over 8. 3 over 8 is the half or 3 over 8. Yan po. 3/4 ang full length, ang half length niya ay 3 over 8. Alright, let's proceed with example number 4. For our last example. So let's try x minus 7 squared is equal to equals 18 or negative 18 na lang y plus 3. So let's write it's x minus 7 squared is equal to negative 18y plus 3. Then same question, we have to find the vertex, axis symmetry, the vertex focus, and the latus rectum. First is the vertex. Our vertex is at hk, so that would be 7 and negative 3. Shortcut. Next here, we have the axis of symmetry. Right? The axis of symmetry has an equation x is equal to h because ang naka-square dito ay yung x. That would be x is equal to h or x is equal to 7. So we got the 2 now. That's it. And we have the next one is the directrix. The directrix has an equation y is equal to k minus c, where k is negative 3 and negative c is, di pa natin alam. Saan natin kukunin ang negative ang c na yan? Doon po sa negative 18, i-equate lang natin po yun. So that is, for c is equal to negative 18. Divide both sides by 4, cancel. C is equal to negative 18 over 4 or negative 9 over 2 or 4.5. Okay, let's continue here. Since we have now our letter C, it's our time to put it in here in this equation. Our K is negative 3 less our C is negative 9 half. Then that would be negative 3 plus 9 half. Then 2 negative 6 plus 9. Final answer we will get 3 over 2. So our directrix has an equation 3 half or 1.5. Let's check. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6 tapos 9. Negative 9 minus 6 is 3. 3 halves. Alright, we got it. Okay, for the focus, it's quite easy. For the focus, we have the formula H, K plus C. Our H here is 7 and our K here is negative, what is our K again? Negative 3 plus negative 9 over 2. This is our letter C. Okay, from this time, we will be doing performing addition with negative 3 and negative 9 over 2. That would be 7, 2, negative 6, minus 9. Why? Because 2 divided by 2 is 1 times negative 9 is negative 9. Positive times negative is negative. That would be 7, 2, negative 15. Alright, we have now our focus at 7, negative 15 over 2. For the last time, our latus rectum, it's 4 times the absolute value of C. Let's see again. Our C here is negative 9 half. Our C is negative 9 half. Absolute value of negative 9 half. Alright. Since we are talking here about absolute value, then this negative 9 half will become positive 9 half. Here we could simplify 9 times 4 is equal to 36 divided by 2 got 18. So the latus rectum whole length is 18 units, and if you want to get the half length of latus rectum from the focus to any endpoint of the parabola, then you will get 9 units because 18 divided by 2 is 9. So that's it. That's the end of our solving using the standard form of the equations and the general features of the parabola. Do not forget to memorize this everything here, okay? The standard form, the vertex, the axis of symmetry, the directrix, the focus, and the latus rectum. If you have a question, then just chat. Thank you and see you next time.